Hi guys, so I wanted to touch base with you so I could explain to you the best way to pass this course. It is going to take intense reading every week and you cannot skip any week or day. You need to really be involved in this course. It is only 10 weeks. We'll be cramming into 10 weeks what we normally do in 16 weeks over the course of the semesters in the fall and the spring. So you need to really keep up with things. And the first thing to being successful is right here, making sure that you first download your syllabus and read it and be well acquainted with it. Your first test is on the syllabus and the weekly calendar. So you can get your syllabus by clicking on it. Okay, so here's your syllabus, and we are going to just kind of go through it real quick. I expect you to read it in detail, but you can correspond with me mostly through Blackboard and email. And if you have to, you can text if it's emergency. You can see that we are an online course. You must have internet access and you must have some kind of computer or laptop yourself. Technology requirements are mandatory. They will not be used as excuses for not turning in assignments or attending online. All your tests will be proctored on campus. You will not be taking any tests online, and they will be timed. Your reading assignments are mandatory. If you do not do your reading assignments, if you don't log in and do them, you will be counted absent. Even though they are not scored, they will not harm your grade in any way, but you do need to read the chapter and you need to read every week. You cannot get behind in that. And let's see what else is important here. How you are graded. You have 167.5 points total that you can get for your assignments and 400 points total for the 4 exams. The final exam is cumulative, which means it's on all of the chapters from chapter 1 through 12. Chapter 4 is the only chapter I'm not requiring. The rest, though, are all required, 1 through 12 minus chapter 4. To get an A, the minimum amount of points you can get is 510. So I would suggest not missing any assignments. Nothing is accepted late. There's no excuses. If you get in a car accident and you're taken by ambulance to the hospital, you can provide the paperwork to me to show it to me, and you will be given an all essay exam that we will schedule for you to come into campus and take. Emergency visits for patients other than you, such as your child or another family member, are not excusable or permissible. And if school is canceled for some reason, the day you're supposed to come in and take an exam, then we will reschedule. Attendance is mandatory. If you have more than 3 absences, see right here, if you have more than 3 absences, you will be dropped from the course. And an absence is when you miss an assignment, that's an absence. If you miss a discussion board, that's 2 absences because each discussion board has 2 different dates. And if you don't log in every week, that's considered an absence. So once you've gotten 3, that's it. That's your limit. Number 4, I will drop you from the course. Okay, and as for the assignments, here are the assignments. Learn Smart is one of the assignments. You will log in to the assignments tab, click on the chapter for that day, and excuse me. And you will have to read the chapter and do the practice questions that pop up every now and then. I'll show you how that works. You're not graded on them. You just have to log in and do the chapter, read it. It records how much time you spend there, so I'll know if you've read the whole chapter or not. Practice quizzes are mandatory and they are graded. And that continues up here. Practice quizzes. There's one for each chapter that I made, and I just threw in a variety of questions trying to kind of cover an array, but they're no way comprehensive. You still need to study the book, study the chapter. And they are worth up to 20% of your overall grade, so you should really read the chapter and know it well before you take the quizzes. There's a syllabus quiz, and I'll show you that. You have to take that first. And that's also including your weekly calendar, so you need to read both. Your discussion boards there's only 2. This semester I cut those way down because it's only a 10-week course. So there's 2 of those. I'm going to go over those with you. The thing with discussion board is they require 2 parts. By Thursday night, you have to upload onto the discussion board your entry. By Saturday night, you have to vote on which one of your classmates you think did the best job. Okay, and at any time, the syllabus is a guide, and it's what I intend to do, but if I ever need to change it in any kind of way, I reserve the right to do that. I will notify you when and if I do change it. Okay, and that is it for your syllabus. Under course information, or you can get it under course documents. The other document that's very important to you is your weekly calendar. So I have already pulled that up here, and we will look at it. This is the most important document you have. Without this, you will probably lose track of what you need to do each week. I suggest that you print this and you follow it very carefully. Here is week 1. We start on May 21st. I will not make allowances for people who start the course late or they go on vacation and they don't come back until week 2. That would be your problem. This is an online course. You can take it from anywhere. So wherever you are, vacation, home, it doesn't matter. You can keep up with your assignments. So what I have here is the date. Then this is the topic we're going to cover. It's also the chapters 1 and 2. And then these are the assignments that you have to do for that week. So the Learn Smart assignment is really just your smart book. So when you click on it, it's going to take you to your smart book, and I'm going to show you how that works. I'll do a sample of it. The nice thing I like about reading your book online instead of the hard copy is that when you go into the chapter, they already highlight things for you, so no use doing a bunch of highlighting. But just read it, and turn on the little person who talks to you, and after you've been in it for a while, she starts to remind you that you need to do a little practice questions, and they provide you with practice questions so you can see what you remember and what you don't remember. It really helps prepare you for the practice quiz that does count. So everything you do when you do Learn Smart, it doesn't count towards your final grade. There's no points for it, but you do have to do it. You have to log in and do it. Syllabus quiz is the first quiz. You'll see a link for it, and that's testing you on things on the syllabus and on the weekly calendar. The practice quizzes are little practice quizzes that I made. They're small points. You can see practice quiz 1 is only 10 points, practice quiz 2 is 9 points, but these are your assignments, and they will help prepare you for the exams. So they're very good to take. They're great practice, but do not take them until you've read the whole chapter, because these do count towards your final grade. These are the assignments that I count. There's an intro video that teaches you how to use the Smart Book. There's this video that you're watching right now, and then there's my PowerPoints that are up there, and it tells you which PowerPoints and what the names are. So these PowerPoints for this week are called Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. These are the due dates, and they're not always the same, so be very careful when you look at the due dates. For example, when exam 1 comes, the due date is not the end of the week. Your due date is not Thursday, it's not Saturday, it's Tuesday. All exams are on Tuesdays, but the exam is always the previous chapters, not the chapter you're reading that week. So chapter 5 is not on exam 1. Exam 1 is going to be chapters 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so make sure you pay attention to the due dates. They're not always the same. Week 2, you have a discussion board assignment. I only gave 2 of those. Most people give them every week, but I only gave 2. So this is a chance for extra credit. These will not be in your grade. They do not hurt your grade. They don't help your grade unless you win. But if you don't attend, you get 2 absences, because you have to get online on Thursday, May 30th, and put your entry. And then you have to get online again on Saturday to vote on your colleagues. And you're going to vote who you think is the best. So you're going to go to a special link that I provide, and you're going to vote. The person who wins the contest from their peers, and you can't vote for yourself, you have to vote for your classmates. Whoever wins gets extra credit. and here's the amount of extra credit for this assignment. So this will be added to the next exam. So for exam 1, whoever wins this is going to get 10 extra points on their exam. Okay, so those are just little contests that I have. There's another discussion board. Where are you? Right here in week 4. So in week 4, there's another one, and it is worth 5 points. I see I don't have that there. It's 5 extra credit points that will be added to exam 2. Okay, so know your calendar very well. Understand when your final exam is. It's cumulative, so it's on all 12 chapters. There's one chapter that I skip. You do not have to do chapter 4. But other than that, you do 1 through 12 with the exception of chapter 4, and all of them will be on the final exam. So it will show me how well you learned the material and if you retained it in the long term. Okay, so let's go back to our website. Here are the PowerPoints. Each week in your weekly calendar, it tells you which one you're going to read. Most of them are numbered, but for example, Stages of Cognitive Development does not have a number, so you'll need to find out where that is. That's in your weekly calendar. And this is the Learn Smart. So this is where you can just click and it takes you to your book. And I'm going to show you what it looks like for you. We're going to look at it as a student. So this is what you'll see. It takes a minute to load. Okay. So here we are. This is chapter 1. All right. So things are highlighted for different reasons. See, by now you have demonstrated that you have a deep understanding of this topics in this section. When anything is green, that usually means that you've read it long enough. The yellow is highlighted because it contains topics that are especially important for you. So you go through and you read each of these, and then eventually this starts flashing. When this flashes over here, practice, you pull it up and it's going to give you some test questions. So Jessica has, and these of course don't count, don't worry, they don't go towards your grade. Jessica has formed an interrelated set of ideas to explain the phenomenon of social anxiety. Jessica has formed a what? And so then you can choose any one of these things that you want. So you select theory and then say, you know what, I really think I know it. And you did, so it's correct. And then it'll give you another question. So let's answer one wrong, and I'll show you what happens. Kylie believes that exposure to violence, even pretend violence, contributes to increased aggression in children. He believes children who play violent video games will be more aggressive than children who don't play violent video games. In his study, he will track the number of hours each child spends playing video games, and he will count the number of aggressive acts the child performs each day. He will look at the relationship between these two variables. This study is the test of his, and then it would be hypothesis. So let's give the wrong answer. And we're not really sure. I think so. Okay, it tells us what's wrong, and then it tells us the correct answer. All right, so this is a great study tool. So let's go back. Oh. If you don't know the answer to something, you can click on that, and it brings you to the spot in the book that you can find the answer in. But you should first try and answer on your own. That's what gets things into long-term memory. So let me close out of this, and we'll go back to our work. Okay, so here's our 2 chapters, chapter 1 and chapter 2. But if you go to assignments, everything is here that you have to do, and it's in order. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is your syllabus test. This does count towards your grades, or 10 points. You will watch the video on how to use the book. Then you will do your first Learn Smart, and that's where you read the chapter. Read the complete chapter and do all the practice questions before you do the practice quiz. The practice quiz, you simply click on it, and it comes up, and I will show you what it will look like to you. And each one is different lengths. I just threw in questions that kind of give a wide variety of what's happening in the chapter, but it by no means is the only thing you're going to see on your exam. So this is just for you to practice. So you'd start the test and the maximum lifespan of humans. So if you answer correctly, has increased over time. We know that's not true. Has not changed since the beginning of recorded history. Now, pay attention here. This is not life expectancy. This is the lifespan. The maximum lifespan has never changed. Okay? So then you score your answer. Score now. And it tells us that we got it correct. Now let's answer one incorrectly so you can see what that looks like. Many individuals become wiser as they age, but their performance on tasks that require speed in processing information start to decline. This illustrates how throughout life some dimensions or components of a dimension expand and others shrink, or how development is, okay, and it's multi-directional is the right answer, so we're going to pick contextual. That's the wrong answer. So now you can see what this looks like. It tells you the wrong answer, and then it gives you what should have been answered, okay? Then at the end, you submit your test and get your score. Now, of course, we didn't answer all of them, so our results are not very good. All right, so let's go back out of here, back to our class. I think I can just keep hitting the back button to get there. Yes, okay. So that's for chapter 1 and chapter 2. This is the first discussion board, and actually it should be after chapter 3. Sorry about that. And after exam 1. So it's down here. The first discussion board assignment. See the instructions here. Read this article and then go to discussion board 1. Answer the question after reading the article by Thursday night. So you're going to answer it, whatever I posed on discussion board. By Saturday night, you're going to vote for your classmates that you think answered the question the best and had the most original answer. The link below will take you to that form. So you need to copy this link, put it into, here, let me copy it, put it into another web page. And it takes you to the article. I'm sorry, it takes you to the place to vote. All right, so you'll go here, you're going to put in your email address so I know who you are, because I want to make sure you don't vote for yourself. And then you're going to answer the person you thought answered it the best and the person you thought gave it the most original answer. And then I will tally up who wins. Okay. All right, let me close this. All right, we'll go back to our assignments. So when you go to place your entry of your assessment of the article, you will go to your discussion board. Here is the first one. This is the article. You have to read it, and then you are going to post. You're going to make a post. So you're going to create a forum, make a post, and answer this. So it's an article about cell phone usage and if it's destroyed a whole generation. And what I want you to look at is if they use the scientific method or not. So you should read chapter 1. You should have read chapter 1 by now, so you should know what the scientific method is. You're going to explain why you think it followed the scientific method, or you're going to explain why it did not follow the scientific method. Whichever is your opinion, you have to defend it. So basically, you better know the scientific method. You should also identify if this would be considered a good scientific article based on the structure that a journal article normally has. So it should have a method section, it should have a results section, it should have a conclusion, it should have a background lit review. Okay, so then you're going to vote on who did the best job of answering this. While we're here, this is the second discussion board assignment. You're going to upload videos here. Everyone's going to make a video. You're going to watch everyone else's video, and then you're going to vote on it. Okay, so if we go back to assignments, and go down to, okay, it is here. So it's a link to the instructions, and I put these on your smart book so you can view. You're going to videotape yourself demonstrating one of the Piagetian concepts with a child between the ages of 3 and 6. You can use your iPhones to do this, it's fine. You can demonstrate animism, egocentrism, conservation, or the lack of conservation. You can do this, you have to post this by Thursday night. By Saturday, you have to vote for who you think made the best video. The winner gets 5 points, okay? And this is the link that you go to for voting. All right, so that is that. I have due dates on every one of these assignments, so if you miss the date, you cannot make it up. So make sure you pay attention to your weekly calendar. That is the most important thing, because if you start missing assignments, you get dropped from the course, okay? I don't let people just miss a bunch of assignments and get an F. I will just drop you and withdraw you, okay? All right, so that's it. If you have any questions or you don't understand anything, make sure that you email me or contact me in some way. And don't forget that all your tests are on campus, proctored, and you have to have ID to take your test. Make sure you present your ID or have a valid driver's license with you or valid ID card when you come to take your exam. It has to be a picture ID. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know.